Hey guys, back with another video. Today I want to talk more about internet computer because that's really the main thing that's been on my mind the past week. I want to talk about decentralization. I want to compare it to, a lot of the other big projects out there, mainly being Sol because, Sol is actually my largest altcoin position. And I know there's a lot of rivalry, even a lot of animosity between the two communities, especially ICP towards Sol. Not every ICP bull is attacking Sol, but a lot of them are. And so I just want to get into the comparisons. So really the whole a big part of the bull thesis of ICP, I mean there's a lot of pieces to it, but is that it's the only full stack blockchain, and that this is what makes it truly decentralized versus everything else, because everything else is run on Amazon web services. Solana nodes, they're all using Amazon web services, to run Solana. And therefore, ICP is hands down the most decentralized project, while also having, the best technology by far. Now, I personally agree, in all my research with the second point, that it has the best technology, hands down, of any project I've seen. However, the decentralization part, I actually disagree so far. And again, my opinion is very dynamic and changing by the hour, with the research that I do. But from what I can see right now, yes, the ICP community makes a great point that every other blockchain is running on Amazon web services, more or less. However, there are solutions that are, within sight. We've got Filecoin, obviously. We got lots of different projects that are working on decentralized cloud. So, once these are implemented, it seems like that whole argument goes out the window. Please let me know if I'm wrong about this. Share your opinion. For example, if Solana integrates Shadow network, which is building a decentralized cloud network, as far as I know, if they implement that and it is actually decentralized, doesn't that argument go out the window? So please let me know if you disagree. But I think that's actually a major point. And the even bigger point beyond that is that from my research, I find that the ICP nodes, or internet computer nodes, are significantly more centralized than Solana. If Solana were to implement decentralized cloud services, I believe there's only somewhere in the low hundreds of node providers on ICP. It's standardized hardware that you have to use. And, I've looked at a few, I don't know what the right word is, I guess blog posts that are discussing how difficult it is to become a node provider on ICP. I know that it's difficult on Solana as well, but I think it seems to be a fact that it's more difficult on ICP. There's way more nodes on Solana than there are on ICP. And, I'm kind of having a hard time finding out if every single node has to work, hand in hand with Dfinity to set up their node system on ICP. That's really the major question I'm kind of running into right now is Dfinity kind of indirectly running all of these nodes, like every single one? I'm really trying to dig deep and figure out how these nodes work, which is, particularly difficult for me because I'm not super technical. So, if you guys have resources, please, let me see them so I can kind of get a better, more solid understanding of how setting up a node and running a node looks on ICP, because my suspicion is that Dfinity is more or less involved in every single node out there. I could be wrong again. I don't have conviction on this thesis, but this is important. If Dfinity is indeed, kind of has their hands in every single node, then this is extremely centralized. So this is my major question with ICP, but none of this takes away from the fact, I feel like we could even call it a fact that ICP has the most advanced technology of any blockchain by far, hands down. And so even if we, agree with the idea that ICP is extremely centralized in terms of, its nodes, we could invest in it anyways, you know, if we believe that eventually there is a path to get decentralized. Because if there isn't a path to get decentralized, you know, if we come to that conclusion, then I don't really see how internet computer can be investable, actually. I mean, I guess it could still be investable, but it's not really investable in the way that we think of blockchains as creating a distributed, you know, trustless system. That's the whole point of blockchains, is to, you know, to not need trust. So, you know, from that perspective, it would make ICP uninvestable if there's no path to decentralization. And this gets back to my earlier point that there is a path for, you know, that seems well within sight, you know, in the next few years. It seems like it could certainly be implemented. These decentralized cloud networks, you know, it seems like these could be implemented for Solana and every other project out there. Whereas, as I was just discussing with ICP, I don't necessarily see the easy path to decentralization of the nodes, if my suspicion is correct. And again, please correct me if I am wrong about the centralization of the nodes. And again, this part I really don't know. It's more of just a suspicion that Dfinity is involved in setting up every single node. I could be wrong, but you know, there's only 100 and whatever nodes. I looked at a few blog posts where a guy was talking about how he was trying to set up a node for over a year, and that's basically his suspicion, is that Dfinity is involved in setting up every single node that exists. And you know, there's the other part, which is that in order to be a node, you have to get approved by the NNS, which is the DAO for ICP. That I don't really have much of an issue with. Obviously, that does mean that it's somewhat centralized, since it seems to be consensus that Dfinity probably has the majority voting power as things stand now. I don't care as much about that, because I see a vision where that would change, especially if ICP explodes. I think there's going to be more distribution of the token. But my real question is there a path to decentralization, you know, for the nodes to become more decentralized? So again, I'm not super technical. I'm sure many of you, hopefully many of you watching, are more technical, understand the ins and outs of the technology a bit better than I do. I have, you know, I have experience in blockchain since 2017, not working on it, but trying to understand it, learning about it, researching it. And so this is just my understanding. You know, obviously none of this is financial advice, just my opinion. Please let me know what I get wrong, if you have resources that I can look at. And if you like the video, leave a like, subscribe. I'll see you guys next video.